that there's dirty dishes in front of you. We didn't want the clanking during our program, so please bear with us. While you finish up your dessert, I'd like to get the program started with the Kern hat. Kate. I practiced that 6 times. Kern Kate Award, a broadcasting named after longtime broadcaster, Hall of Fame recipient, Kern Kate. Making the presentation tonight is our new chairman, Grant Kate.
Thank you. We're going?
Oh yeah, we're streaming live.
Yeah, we're streaming live tonight. Good evening, I'm Grant Cate, son of Kerm Cate. My dad owned the radio stations in the state of Wyoming for many years and was a longtime member of the WAP. He was inducted into the inaugural Hall of Fame class. That was back in 2003 in Jackson. When my dad passed away, the WAP renamed the Friend of Broadcasting Award the Kerm Cate Friend of Broadcasting Award. This award is designed to recognize people that have been friends of broadcasters by supporting broadcast initiatives, developing future broadcasters, and are overall supporters of the broadcast community. This year, we're honored to present to Ken and Karen Benner the Kerm Cate Friend of Broadcasting Award for all of their years as inspectors for the Alternate Broadcast Inspection Program. They started inspecting stations in Wyoming back in 2007 and did that until 2019. Ken was a strong advocate for the broadcast community with the FCC and loved traveling our state with his wife Karen, who was also a pro at public inspection files. Together they made a great team and always enjoyed spending time at our stations. I know Ken was very proud of a lot of the articles that he wrote, bragged about those at my station. Unfortunately, Ken passed away in April of 2021, and because of the distance, Karen wasn't able to be with us here tonight, but I know she's watching. We thank Ken and Karen for their dedication to the Alternate Inspection Program and for being good friends of the Wyoming broadcast community. And please accept this award.
Thanks, Greg. The WAB started their Hall of Fame in 2003, and with 2 inductions tonight, we have honored 43 Wyoming broadcasters. A few of our Hall of Famers are with us tonight. Please stand up and be recognized as I call your name. My buddy Al Harris took me all over Washington, D.C. Class of 2009. Scott Nagle, class of 2014. Tim Mora, class of 2018. Sadly, we lost one of our recipients, George K., in February. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame with the class of 2005. Let's give these broadcasters a big hand. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first Hall of Fame inductee for the class of 2022, Cody's own Gabby Barris.
Jean Barris, known to many as Gabby, was born in Winterset, Iowa in 1913. He was one of 9 children born to Charles and Hazel Barris. He graduated high school in 1931 and in 1933 found his way to Hardin, Montana. While there, he played semi-professional baseball and had a keen passion for the mountains and sports. After a series of baseball games between Hardin and Cody, the late Millward Simpson, who managed the Cody team, invited Barris to move to Cody and play baseball for a job, room, and board. He made the move, and Cody became Gabby's home for the rest of his life. While Gabby held a variety of different jobs, it was his part-time occupation that made Gabby's name a household word throughout the Bighorn Basin. In 1947, Gabby began his broadcasting career as the play-by-play sports announcer with the initial startup of KODI-AM in Cody. Gabby's favorite sports story was a regular feature on KODI, which captured the imagination of young and old alike. KPOW in Powell also employed Gabby as a sports coverage announcer for 2 years. He won several sports broadcasting awards throughout his career, known for his professional approach to calling games with constant vocal action that allowed the listeners to feel they were sitting in the bleachers watching the game live. His colorful language became his mantra.
Pick up my house. You hold it back for it. Pick up. Pick up and drive you down the step on defense. That's what to get more. More shots. Get up and off. So good. Rebound is first picked up by Doherty. Doherty on the dribble. Holds it out. Steps to the forecourt. Then passes to the backcourt. And it was a long ball.
Kurt Galley, WAB Hall of Famer, was a friend of Gabby's and once referred to Gabby as the voice of high school sports in Wyoming. Kurt and Gabby frequently fished together on the South Fork of the Shoshone River near Cody. Gabby was also a pro at interviewing stars of the game, which kept listeners tuned in following the action. Gabby was frequently called upon to MC athletic and hunting and fishing events. He also served on the Park County School Board and was active in many community events throughout the year. Ernie Over, a Wyoming sportscaster himself, said that Gabby was also a popular figure in the Lander sports community in the late 60s and early 70s, when Gabby's son Jim was an assistant basketball coach for the legendary Bob Carey. Gabby would come down for most of Lander's home games and a few on the road in the Bighorn Basin. At the time, KOVE Radio was looking for a sportscaster, and Ernie, who was the manager of the basketball team, sat on the tiger bench in front of the broadcast location. After one game, Ernie asked Mike Goodrich, KOVE's GM, about sportscasting, and he said, "Are you interested in this kid?" With the blessing of Coach Carey, and with Jim Barris helping to pave the way, Gabby took Ernie under his wing, gave him a small reel-to-reel tape recorder to practice calling a game, then critiqued Ernie's play-by-play each week. Those lessons passed along by Gabby helped Ernie to call the flow of the game and other techniques, which he still uses to this day. Always give the time and the score every few minutes was one lesson that all sportscasters should do. At the end of the basketball season, Goodrich gave Ernie a job at KOVE, and in Ernie's senior year of high school, he began calling football and basketball games. Gabby would occasionally sit in on a broadcast as Ernie's color man. Gabby took a keen interest in the young sportscaster and enjoyed sharing his knowledge, something that Ernie today fondly remembers. Ernie said Gabby was a great mentor, and he wouldn't be where he is today without Gabby's guidance. After Gabby's retirement from radio, he found joy in writing for outdoor publications, as well as submitting wildlife photography. He wrote more than 200 articles that appeared in every major outdoor publication. Gabby, along with his wife Marge, had 2 sons, Jim and Ben. Gabby passed away November 20th in 1998, followed by Marge and Jim. They had 5 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. Gabby Barris was a pioneer sports broadcaster in Wyoming. He set the bar high for all of those that followed. We honor Gabby tonight for his dedication to the broadcasting field, his mentorship to others, and for his love of the game.
To give us a few words.
Thank you very much. There's so many people that have my back that can get this done. There's a couple of stories I really need to say about his early beginning, as he came out here from Iowa to live in Cody. But Millward Simpson promised a job to him. It was the most difficult job he ever had. He was the babysitter for Pete and Al. Another story, a dovetail on that, one day when Al was celebrating his 70th birthday, he invited my mother and I up to that party. We ran into Dick Cheney, and Al put his arm around me and he said, "Dick, this young man, Dad, was my babysitter." And Dick Cheney said, "He didn't do a very good job." You know, as I was growing up in life, I oftentimes thought, what's the difference between a home and a house? It didn't take long for me to understand what that was. But years later, I tried to determine what was the difference between a dad and a father. My dad took me on a dull sheep hunt in the Yukon. That was my dad. He took my brother and I on a fishing trip to Alaska. That was my dad. My dad and I often hunted deer and antelope together, and after a successful hunt, we oftentimes find a local cub, a deer or two, and recount with great detail and maybe a little exaggeration about the hunt, how it went. That was my dad. What about my father? My father made sure he had 2 jobs his entire life. Every year he had 2 jobs to make sure that his family was safe and secure. He also was a man of integrity. The best example of integrity I can ever give to you was when after his broadcasting became very well known in the state, his publication became very well known. Many of his friends decided to ask the governor at that time to award him a special bighorn sheep permit. He profoundly said, "No, I will not accept it," and there's a reason why. Some of my friends have been putting in permits for 15 or 20 years, and I'm going to give it back because if I want to earn a permit, I'm going to stand in line with those 15 or 20-year people who have been trying themselves. That's who he was. We all experience bumps in our life as I have, and again, this is my father speaking to me also. He got to decide one time, he said, "Listen, Mick," he says, "when the door closes, always look for an open window. When the door closes, always look for an open window." And throughout my life, as I had those different challenges affect us like we all do, I was all called back to that very thing. For 30 years, I traveled the whole world as an ambassador for Lions Clubs International, as a motivational speaker and also a leadership trainer. I had an assignment in Buffalo, New York, and the company on that was a man by the name of Tom Sullivan. Tom Sullivan grew up blind, and his doctor said he should be raised in an institution. But Mom and Dad Sullivan said no, we wanted him to get the best out of life that we possibly could. So Tom graduated with Harvard High Honors and was the only blind NCAA champion wrestler. He went on in his life to be a motivational speaker, an author, a musician, and his own life was captured in his own publication of a movie called If You Can See What I Hear. So Tom was there with me, and I can remember one of his final things that he said was, "If you take it all in, you have to give it all back." Gabby Barris took it in by playing basketball on the hardwood, playing football on the gridiron, and baseball on the diamond. And he gave it all back by becoming one of the premier broadcast play-by-play announcers back in the 40s that this state has ever known. I'm proud to say I believe that. And it wasn't just his calling the game. They mentioned Gabby's favorite sports story. I'm telling you, every weekday, along about 7 o'clock in the evening, 6 o'clock in the evening, he would recount the day's scores in football, basketball, at the local, state, and national level. Then would come Gabby's favorite short story. Oh, I'll tell you, that people were mesmerized by those stories. And that's where he won a lot of those awards. And a side note, how did he get his name? His initials were G-A-B, that's Gab. So they added B-Y. One time he was introduced to the microphone, and I bring to your announcer, KGOS old sportscaster, Gabby Hayes. Gabby Hayes was a sidekick of the announcers. So in the end, what can I say about my dad? My father. Whether it was taking care of his family to be the best that they could be, whether he was calling another state championship football or basketball game, whether he was photographing another prize-winning photo, it's writing another story for outdoor life, or the field and stream of Wyoming life. His challenges were always, I want to go to the top and not worry about playing to the bottom. And that was sort of his mantra. And I think he achieved that. So in conclusion, just let me say this. Because of you tonight, because of the Bighorn Radio Network, and because of the Wyoming Broadcasters Association, on this very night, Gabby Barris' life, my father's life, has come full circle. And I thank every one of you, especially my family sitting over here, for believing in him and everything.
Thank you, Nick. It's been an honor to work with you these last 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee, Tim Ray.
Really, Mark, the people pleaser. Stop suffering from those no-vacation blues. Many Mark's going to give you a chance for a few days in the white sun. Win a trip for 450 with all compliments of Mini Mart and Coca-Cola. Air transportation, hotel, rent car. You know my knowledge on there. And they're even going to throw in something.
Tim Ray often said that he was born and raised in Indianapolis, but grew up in Wyoming. Tim was the youngest of 3 boys of Merle and Catherine Ray. Early on, from his days of listening to baseball games on the radio at night, he wanted to be a radio broadcaster. After high school, he made his way to Indiana State University, earning a degree in physical education. After a brief 6-week career as a middle school PE teacher, he put an ad in the classified section of a nationwide trade magazine. Jim Spratlin, sports and sales manager of KWYO Radio in Sheridan, noticed the ad, called Tim, and a week later, he arrived in Sheridan. Tim spent the next 9 years working with both KWYO and KROE Radio in Sheridan, broadcasting hundreds of high school games, including local schools, Bighorn, Tom River, Sheridan, along with Sheridan Junior College basketball and Sheridan American Legion baseball games. Tim broadcasted many state championship games, including the 1982 state championship versus Rollins. Tim loved sports and interviewing people. Some of his most memorable interviews were with Larry Bird, John Elway, then NBA Commissioner Larry O'Brien, and Basketball Hall of Famer, the Big O, Oscar Robertson. Before the fall of 1987, there would be a new broadcast rights holder at the University of Wyoming. KGWO Radio and Television would be producing radio and television for Cowboy Athletics under the Wyoming Radio Network. Tim became part of the broadcast team with WAB Hall of Famers Dave Walsh and George Kay in the booth, and Tim working the sidelines for the Wyoming football games. As broadcast teams were moving about from football to basketball, Tim was quite often the backup play-by-play announcer behind Dave Walsh.
Murray down the lane on a twist move, 2 points for David Murray. Great move.
Tim Ray and George Kay became consistent faces for the University of Wyoming telecast.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Ray. Alongside with me, George Kay. And George...
Tim was the television play-by-play guy and very good with anything live. In addition to duties with the Cowboys, Tim also did sports sales, broadcast various local high school sports, and co-hosted a nightly 1-hour local talk show called Sports Talk with George Kay. Interviewing thousands of guests over a 9-year span of the show, none were more exciting than the interview on April 9th, 1993, the first ever home game in Colorado Rockies history. The first batter at the plate that day, Casper native Mike Lansing. The starting second baseman of the Montreal Expos took time and did an interview with Tim Ray before the game. In 2004, Larry Bird came on KGOS Radio's Sports Talk, celebrating the 25th anniversary of Bird versus Magic.
Well, I tell you what, when I tell folks back here, Larry, that you and I used to wrestle against one another in Frank McCann's wrestling class, they think I'm crazy, but that's true, isn't it?
It's true.
Now, why are you laughing?
Well, because I know kids try to get an A out of class.
Not many people realized at the time that it was actually Tim Ray who got Larry Bird physically in tip-top shape. Tim spent 5 years as a television sports anchor on KCWY in Casper, winning many WAB awards over the years. He was also awarded the Wyoming Sportscaster of the Year 3 times from the National Sportscasters Sports Writers Association. The Wyoming Coaches Association Hall of Fame awarded Tim its Distinguished Service Award in 2002. For 9 years, Tim was one of just 3 sports journalists in Wyoming that voted each year for the Heisman Trophy finalists. Tim's involvement in Casper was deep. In 2001, Tim developed the Rockies baseball camp. The extremely successful baseball camp ran for 11 consecutive years and would feature coaches and players from throughout the Colorado Rockies organization. Rick Matthews, the Colorado Rockies, was the camp director and says Tim Ray's unique relationship with kids and people in general made the camp go.
Tim was the guy who promoted, went out and got sponsors, and the camp was something that I had done in the past, and he made it happen, and he was wonderful. Great coach.
Tim started the Peach Basket Classic to celebrate 100 years of basketball, where both boys and girls from both Casper high schools play each year with a coveted Peach Basket Classic trophy. This tradition is now in its 31st year. Tim loved his days at the ballpark. He would always say, "Future stars of tomorrow today."
Stolen bases with 6. I tell you, he looks like his dad. He looks like his father. Some guys just look perfect in a baseball uniform, and he's one of them. 2-2 pitch, this one hit off the handle, down the left field line, curving foul, and we'll go foul.
Not many people become immortalized with their own In 2007, Tim was hired as athletic director for the Turner County School District, a position he held for 4 years. When the Casper Ghosts sold, the new owners, the Colorado Rockies, offered Tim Ray the position as general manager, and Tim moved to Colorado a year later. Tim Ray enjoyed great success as a minor league baseball general manager. In 2012, he received the Pioneer Baseball League Executive of the Year, and in 2013, the Grand Junction Rockies received the John Henry Moss Award for the top community service team in the country. In 2015, Baseball America named the team the top short season franchise in the country. In 2016, Tim retired from baseball.
One thing that Tim Ray always said was that baseball was about relationships, and he liked a guy in general that Tim Ray became part of my life because he made it better.
He's a Hall of Fame broadcaster. He's a Hall of Fame guy. He's one of those guys that's just a pleasure to be his friend, to be around him. He will inspire people to do things as he's done all his career. And he's gotten a lot of things done in a lot of different areas because he has that innate ability to get people to get on board and do things to help them out. And he helps anybody he can. He's first class act. He is just a great guy. I'm just proud to call him my friend.
I don't know anybody who enjoys people more than he does, enjoys being around people, and as I said, it makes people at ease. But he's a dedicated guy and a true professional.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Ray is an award-winning radio and television sportscaster, a Wyoming State High School championship golf coach, a community volunteer.
The old round the sound of Wyoming Radio Network. You know, we need your support this weekend.
A Wyoming State High School athletic administrator who worked hard to make sure kids' lives were better through activities. And an award-winning minor league baseball executive who started a franchise from scratch and made it into a national community-leading franchise in just 4 years.
Right, Bruno, this one is gone. Just say goodbye.
As George K. would say, big guy, Tim Ray, congratulations. From all of us, Tim Ray, thank you for all you've done for Wyoming broadcasting.
Emotional when I see my friend George K. I miss him. Rich Birkinshaw and some of those guys. They're true giants of Wyoming. Excuse me, I've been fighting the cold here a little bit. Runny nose. I ran into Laura a little earlier today and wanted to see our United States Senator John Barrasso. Our U.S. Senator was in town putting on a workshop, and I remember John in those days when he was helping K2 television, putting on the NPA telethons, and I remember the high school football games at Kelly Walsh on Friday when he was our team doctor, and to see how far he's come. And I was listening to an interview. I think it was done by Bob Beck and ended up on NPR of all places, and I didn't realize that I was so inspirational behind Senator Barrasso's decision to leave medicine as an orthopedic surgeon, to get into politics. Very few people, and this is a little embarrassing, but John, Senator Barrasso, replaced my left hip. True story. Replaced my left hip, and after that, seeing me face down and butt naked up, he, politics looks pretty good. I'll stand behind Mitch McConnell any day. So it's nice to know that I have that type of inspiration in somebody's future. I would like to begin tonight by, and I'm going to keep this short. Laura said 10. I know you. Keep this between 8 and 10 minutes. My wife Karen says 10. I know you. You please. Don't add to it. And Nick, I admire that. I love ad-libbing, just telling stories. That's what I love stories. I got a script. I've got to go home with Miss Karen tonight. But I want to congratulate the Barris family tonight. And on behalf of everyone, congratulations to the Barris family and what a legacy. I've heard so many stories. Larry Martolio, who I spent a lot of time with in Sheridan, sends along his best. And And Cody is such a warm spot to me because when I was in Sheridan, all those years, because of snow and weather and what have you, a lot of times we didn't get back to Sheridan, and Shad and Betty Martolio would offer up their home here in Cody, and we would, have a little warm bed and a little warm toddy there behind the bar at Shad's bar here in Cody. And what a tremendous family. I think Babe was the former mayor at one time here in Cody. Is that right? No. Not? Did she get beat? Okay. But anyway, great family. And anyway, Larry Martolio will also like to pass along a big congratulations to your family. I would also like to thank the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters, Chairman Rita Connors, the Board of Directors, and President Laura Gratt, who I didn't realize, now I know she works very hard, extremely hard, didn't realize all the years that I've known her when I was in broadcasting here in the state. I knew she did a lot of work, but she's a little sly on the cuff too. Some friends of mine from Grand Junction surprised me today, which is why I could not see the senator today, because they were hiding out in my room. And to the surprise of me, but Laura knew all along since February, and along with my wife. I was just, and I'm going to read off script, which is something I had a hard time doing when I was in TV, which drove directors crazy, but I was 23 years old when I moved from Indianapolis to a place called Sheridan, Wyoming. And when I accepted the job from Jim Spratlin, I hung up the phone and I thought, where in the world is Sheridan, Wyoming? And I was teaching middle school, like Bob mentioned, physical education, and I wasn't under a contract at that time. My final 6 weeks grades were due at the end of the week, the following week, and I turned in my resignation and loaded up my little truck with everything that I could get in there, and left early Saturday morning and was in Sheridan late Sunday evening and started work at KGOS the first thing Monday morning, and the rest is history. And it was really the best move I ever made in my life. I have been blessed. Some people call it lucky. I wouldn't disagree with that assessment, but I honestly call it blessed. I also use the word thankful. Some people say, Tim, you're just a softy at heart. You're a teddy bear. Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm very thankful for everything that has been involved in my life. You know, as we grow older, there's a sense of gratitude that seems to work into our heart, into our soul. And I think of that, and that word gratitude happened to me when I met my wife, Karen. Karen has shown me the simplicity of enjoying every day. She will say things like, isn't the sky so blue today? You know, many of us walk around and have no clue that, you know, that the sky really is a beautiful blue today. Or stop. Listen to those kids play in the front yard. There is no better sound than kids' laughter. And she's right. Karen, thank you for pointing those things out to me. Being my partner and my wife, now going on 21 years. I've been blessed in so many ways. In fact, this marriage thing's kind of fun. I've been married twice. The first time around, I
was not very good at it. And I was only married for 4 years, but the marriage ended with us still being friends. And here we are today, sitting together at my Hall of Fame induction, and Janet is here tonight. And along with her beautiful daughter, Sharon, who is so dear to me. And how many people get to sit in between their two wives? It takes me back when Wyoming was playing BYU. But Janet, thank you so much for supporting me during those early years, because I tell you, she did. Very, very quickly, the first Wyoming game that I did from the network, the Friday it was at Wyoming in Laramie against Air Force. The night before, I'm in Miles City broadcasting Sheridan versus Miles City. Drove from Miles City to Sheridan after the game, and then Janet drove from Sheridan to Laramie all night so I can get ready for the game that afternoon. And then we hopped in the car after the game so I could make it back to play in the two-man baseball golf tournament. But, you know, it was that kind of support. And so, Janet, thank you. And Sharon, you are the love of my life, along with Steve, your brother. You've just been tremendous kids in my heart, so thank you. My brother Jim from Indianapolis is here tonight with his, he's got a grandson and a granddaughter with him tonight, Kelsey and Jackson. And Jim is much older than I am, and he looks it. He played several years for ZZ Top, so if you want any autographs. As a youngster, he and I, because of the age difference, he and I didn't spend a lot of time together, but as we grew older, we did, and some great memories, and always a tremendous supporter. And Jim, it means a lot for me, for you to be here tonight, so thank you. Gary and Nancy Johnson are here tonight, tremendous friends of mine from Casper, and a person can't ask for better friends, and they've been my friends. So I've known Gary since he was the head basketball coach at Kelly since 1981, and they've been with me through thick and thin, and a person cannot ask for better friends. Ruth and Gail are here with me tonight. Ruth was my secretary when I was with the Natrona County School District. She kept me out of jail. Made sure that I was doing everything legally. As you know, school districts, you know, the waters are a little rocky at times, and she often made sure that I was doing things correctly. And so thank you guys for being here tonight. My brother from a different mother is here tonight, Skip Doty. And Skip I met in Grand Junction. And he's got, if you guys love mouth-watering elbow peaches, that means when you bite into them, the juice runs down to your elbow. This guy here grows the best peaches in western Colorado, and he's been a tremendous friend of mine, and we share a lot of stories together. We're the only two that listen to one another's stories. And that's why I love him so much. And Skip, you've been a tremendous friend of mine, and thank you for being here tonight. My friends who made it all the way from Grand Junction are here tonight, and tremendous friends. My pastor is with me here tonight, which kind of makes me nervous. He's been sprinkling water on me all night. And Steve and Kim, thank you for being here tonight. And Max and Vicky, you four mean the world to me, and more than you know. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful. I'm grateful to people like Bob Brammons and Kim Love, who believed in me, allowed me to do sports on their radio station. I'm thankful for Trevor Jackson, who we hired from Miles City. And my goodness, Trevor, 35 years plus that you've been there, and it was so nice to have somebody of your quality to step right in and do the job that you've been doing for so long. And Bob, the leadership that you have displayed through the years has been second to none. I'm blessed that I got to share the microphone with Hall of Famers like Bob Price, and Rich Birkinshaw, and Kevin McKinney, and Dave Walsh, and of course George Kay, you know, Scott Mangle, these guys. I mean, my goodness, it goes on and on and on. And I'm the luckiest guy, and to be able to occupy some room with these folks. Wyoming Broadcasting gave me everything that I have today. It gave me purpose. It gave me memories that I will treasure forever. Relationships that stand a lifetime. Wyoming Broadcasting put a smile on my face, those big old chops. And at the end of the day, I just hope that it put a smile on a lot of people's faces on both radio and television through the years, because we had a lot of fun doing it. I tell a quick story that I was doing a state championship game in it was Bighorn against Star Valley, over at Athens Star Valley. And there was no room for me to do the broadcast in their little press box, so they made room for me, but it ended up on the back end of a truck, this flatbed truck, and positioned on the 10-yard line, and it had side deals up on the truck, and they laid some tables to flatten it out. And by halftime, I was the water was running out my eyes and my nose, and ended up being a manure truck. And I mean to tell you, stink high heaven. And again, the position was on the 10-yard line. And what was happening on the other 10-yard line, that's where the ad-lib came in. I had no idea, couldn't see. But and then years later to be able to do games from Aloha Stadium and Freedom Hall and things of that nature, it was awesome. And I thank my lucky stars to be able to broadcast with a lot of these faces in here today, because the memories are priceless. And I can still hear Bob Brammons in the morning, about 30 seconds before airtime, yelling upstairs, "Tim Ryan, you got 15 seconds!" Might be downstairs. We made it. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tim. Right now, we're going to take a quick 15-minute break and then get started with our awards. The bar will be closing when we come back. So get filled up now.
with a Cop. The 14th annual event is a highlight to
Best Photography Small Market, second place, KTGA-FM, Callie O'Hare, Rawlins Fire Department. She's not here. First place, KTAK-FM, Rusty Wirtz, Early Morning Blaze.
She's here somewhere. Oh, here comes Ernie.
She's the one who submitted the entry. I took the picture. Thanks. Yeah.
Second place, Sheridan Media, Ron Richter. First place, KYWO-AM Sheridan, Stephen Schreffler, Fire Jump. Best News Reporter, Small Market, second place, KTGA-FM Saratoga, Callie O'Hare. Not here. First place, oh, I like this one. KODI-AM. Best News Reporter, Large Market, second place, Sheridan Media, Floyd Whiting. First place, Sheridan Media, Kevin Coyle. Best News Reporter TV, second place, KCWI Casper, Haley Rader.
At the Callaway residents on the east side of Casper, they take their yard from this and transform it into this.
First place, KGWN Cheyenne, Mia Johnson.
Celebrate the season of giving with Shop with a Cause at the Livingston Walmart.
Come out to King Supers, they're right here out in the parking lot, and you can drop off your donation today or tomorrow until what time?
Best News Piece TV, second place, KTWO Casper, Snowplow.
Regardless to whether it's important to stay away from snow housing and keep a safe distance from them, I'll go ahead.
First place, KCWY Casper, Haley Rader.
Hopped on a plane last week to bring home various family members. Hours after the
Best News Talk, Small Market, second place, SBI Media Afton, Weekday Wake Up, Dawn Doc Standard, and Duke Dance.
YouTube video explaining the natrium reactor and integrated energy.
First place, KODI-AM Cody, Party Line, Andrew Rossi. Best News Talk, Large Market, second place, KZWI-FM Sheridan, Andrew First place, KWY keep the cheer here, Amanda Baker. First place, KTUG FM Riverton, the Snowbird.
I'm like, full send all day.
Best single commercial large market, second place, KAML Gillette, CNR Diamonds and Gems, First place, KUGR AM Green River, Broadway Burger, Adrienne Gittes.
Devouring the King Cheeseburger from Broadway Burger. And that was the sound of me finishing my shake. Did you know Broadway Burger has over 25 flavors of shakes? They also have
Best single commercial TV, second place, KCWI Casper, the Win City Sweets.
Gluten-free, cooked fresh every day by Lisa and her talented staff at Win City Sweets.
First place, KCWI Casper, Magic City Stoves.
Hi, this is Steve at Magic City Stoves.
Best commercial campaign, small market, second place, KTAK FM Riverton, Wind River Range Supply.
Favorite varieties like blue, silver, and golden lace lion dots.
First place, KTUG FM Riverton, Wyoming Outdoor Gear Exchange, Mountain Man Jack. Best commercial campaign, large market, second place, KZWY FM Sheridan, Fish Your Bass Off. First place, KTWO Casper, City of Casper Public Service Department, Best commercial campaign TV, second place, KGWN Cheyenne, Bury Christmas.
2022. Jewelers will offer a stunning collection of beautifully crafted, one-of-a-kind estate jewelry featuring rare pieces with distinctive gemstones, materials, and craftsmanship, or browse our spectacular collection of modern contemporary.
First place, KTWO Casper, Hat 6 Travel Center. Best Sports Small Market, second place, SBI Media Afton, Duke Dance, and Dollarton. First place, KOVE AM Lander Kickoff Show, Jared Best Sports Large Market, second place, KWYO AM Sheridan, Trevor Jackson. First place, Basin Radio Network Gillette, Chris Brentles. Best Sports TV, second place, KCWY Casper, Dave Graff.
It's traditional.
taking up all the space on the field. But in six-man football,
First place, KGWN, Cheyenne.
About 1 year from now, Rock Springs Isaac Schoenfeld will go from being to become sports.
Cheyenne Central Laramie face off in what is a win, and you're in.
Best play-by-play, Small Market, second place, SBI Media, Afton. Duke Dance, Dow, Pearson. First place, KDNO FM Thermopolis, Jordan McCamey. Best play-by-play, Large Market, second place, KNYN FM Evanston, Colin Holt. First place, KLED FM Gillette, Chris Brindle. These next awards come with a $500 cash prize to the charity in which the PSA won first prize. For which the PSA won first prize. Best Public Service Small Market, second place, Bighorn Radio Network, Cody, Park County Toys for Tots. First place, KTAK FM Riverton, Stuff the Bus for Fremont County Kids. Best Public Service Large Market, second place, KROE AM Sheridan, Trees for Trash. First place, KYTI FM Sheridan, Fill the Bus. Best Public Service TV, second place, KTWO, Casper, Community Action Partnership, Healthcare for the Homeless. First place, KCWI, Casper, Stage 3 Theater, Irma Gap.
Just in time for the Halloween season, Stage 3 Theater presents the horror comedy, The Mystery of Irma Gap, a penny dreadful.
The barrel of gun, a silver bullet.
Vampires, mummies, and a myriad of costumes.
Best Weather TV, second place, KGWN Cheyenne, Ryan Schallenberger.
Behind me is the future jet stream, and over the weekend we saw high pressure building over the west coast and ridging all the way up to Washington State.
First place, KGWN Cheyenne, Jordan Fraser.
You're certainly going to need to shovel your sidewalks as well as anywhere else in the city tonight because this snow is going to be lasting throughout the overnight hours.
Best Station Promo Small Market, second place, KKTY AM FM Douglas, 4th of July fireworks.
Or better yet, you come and watch ours. It's the KKTY 4th of July celebration.
First place, KTAG FM Cody, Drafton Frank. Best Station Promo Large Market, KZWY FM Sheridan, Buck Stops here. First place, KUGR AM Green River, weekday wake up show returns. Best Station Promo TV, second place, KGWN Cheyenne, Wyoming News, Now Holiday. First place, KCWY Casper, Small Town. Best Acre TV, second place, KCWY Casper, Haley Rader.
Good morning, I am so excited to be your new morning show anchor and getting to work for
First
Ashley
place,
now.
KGWN Cheyenne, Aaron Brown.
Hotel room, but just as police are coming to the rescue, a fire breaks out at that same hotel, forcing 2 rescues at the same.
Best use of digital media, small market, second place, KTAK, Riverton, WyoToday.com. First place, KTGA FM Saratoga, Bigfoot99.com. Best use of digital media, large market, second place, Basin Radio Network, BasinRadio.com. First place, Breck Media Group Casper, BreckMediaGroup.com. Best online video, small market, second place, KTAK FM Riverton, Why We Buckle Up. First place, KTUG FM Riverton, Super Egg Glow.
Hey, it's Deciding factor and who will win Super Bowl 56.
And we are underway.
All right, Wyatt, stand right in that.
Best online video, large market, second place, KZWY FM Sheridan, Kevin Cole.
My name's Jeff Jones. I'm the principal of Toner Middle School.
First place, KLQQ FM Sheridan, Steve Schreckler. Best Newscast TV, second place. Best Newscast TV, second place, KGWN.
Cheyenne News now at 5:30 starts
From education to water rights, redistricting to the subject of genetic privacy, seventh day of one.
First place, KCWY Casper.
Casper News now at 5 starts now.
Snow and cold weather return to Cowboy Stage. Jordan?
Now for the radio station of the year. Station of the year, small market, KTAK FM Riverton.
We strive to make our small town USA have the best
Station of the year, large market, KWYY FM Casper. So that is our awareness tonight. Thank you very much for coming. We hope to see you next year in Cheyenne. Thank you, everybody. The bus will be here in about 10 minutes,